Hi there, welcome back to Horn and Fin Outdoors, and thank you for coming to watch my review of the AGM Taipan 25-384 thermal monocular. If you like this thermal and you think it looks like something you want to buy, check the comment section below because I'm going to put a link down there so you can go purchase your own. Now let's take a closer look at this. I'm pretty new to the thermal market. I have played around with night vision in the past, which is kind of fun and it's neat, but it does have limitations. I've been watching a lot of videos of people hunting with thermal scopes, and the thermal imaging seems so much cooler. Now, I am not going to be using this on a rifle or for shooting at night. I'm using it basically to scan targets at night, or when I get in the woods early in the morning. If I hear a noise, I want to just see what's walking by me, I can click this on and take a look. I found while researching these that the prices go up exponentially once you get into higher resolutions and further thermal distances. So if it can pick up a target farther away, it's going to be more expensive than when they can only pick up a target closer. The resolution is the screen you're looking at when you're looking through the monocular. It's kind of like looking at a small computer screen. So the higher the resolution, the greater the detail when you're looking through it, and the more expensive the scanner is. This is AGM's Taipan line. The one I purchased is the Tm25-384, and that 384 stands for the resolution. This monocular will detect thermal signatures out to 1,000 yards. It's got a nice, easy operation to it where there's only 4 buttons. Each of the buttons can do a couple different things, but it's small, it's rugged, it's got like this coating to it, this rubbery coating. It seems like it's going to be durable, and again, for what I'm going to be using it for is just basically scanning targets at night in the dark. Like if I get in the woods early and I hear something moving, I want to be able to see what it is. So that's why I'm buying this. Well, let's open it up, take a look at it, see what's inside. Well, let's take the top off the box first and see what we've got. Okay, right away I see a lens cloth. There's an instruction manual. One of the things I recommend you do with just about anything you buy, if you're looking into buying something like this thermal, I went online to AGM's website and I was able to download the user manual before I even bought the scanner. That way I could kind of take a look at it and see what's involved in it, what the operation is, what the limitations are, you know, care and maintenance, that kind of stuff. So it's all in here, and you can research that stuff before you even buy what you're looking to buy. Oh, a couple do not return this to the store cards, that kind of stuff. Oh, an advertisement. And let's get to the meat and potatoes. There she is. Okay, so there's my scanner. Now, for full disclosure here, I'm going to let you know that I have already taken this out of the box and I've already played with it quite a few times. So I don't know if you could see this in the camera, but it's a little dirty and I should probably clean it up. When I first took this out of the box, I was very impressed with it because it's small, fits in the palm of your hand, as you can see. It's got a rubberized coating to the whole unit, so it seems like if I dropped it, it wouldn't break, and it's easy to hold on to. I had read the instruction manual, as I said, and what I found is, to start off, there is a threaded screw in the bottom so you can mount it to a tripod or a helmet mount or something like that, but right next to it is a port to plug your charger in. So the first thing you want to do is plug this into a charger and charge it up. That is also the same port you're going to use to download the video and pictures that you take with this to your computer, so to use them at a later date. To operate this thing, it's pretty simple. You hold the power button down and that turns it on, and you'll see the screen boot up in there. The very first thing you want to do is there's an adjustment screw on the back over here, and that's going to be your focus for the screen that you're actually looking at in the viewfinder. Adjust that to whatever your eye is to make sure all the words up there are nice and clear. Now this model also on the front has an adjustable objective to it. So as you're scanning targets, something closer, you might have to adjust the focus, and something farther away you adjust it again to make that a sharper image, kind of just like a pair of binoculars or a spotting scope. I found that it works pretty good. It's difficult for me as a self-filmer to try and hold the camera in one hand, the spotting scope in the other, and then you have to figure out a way to adjust the focus on it. But I can get it to work, and without the camera it makes life easier. There's a little protector for the cover on there. Once the unit is on, there's a pretty cool feature where if you just tap the off button, it will kind of put it into a sleep mode, and that way you just tap it again, it turns back on fast, it doesn't go through the boot up process. You will realize when you're using this that every now and then you'll hear a click inside and the screen kind of freezes up for a second, and then it goes back again to normal. That's the unit refreshing itself to make sure that as you're scanning with it, there's different signatures and different conditions. It's recalibrating itself to those conditions all the time. It's a little bit of a pain because you'll see in some of the videos I've shot, as I'm recording, it refreshes, so it locks the screen up and makes it seem like something went wrong, but it did not go wrong. So now that we've got it on, the next button down I'll show you is the little camera icon. That button, if you just push it once, it will snap a picture of whatever you're seeing in the viewfinder, and if you hold it down, it will start recording. The recording is pretty neat. It does not record sound, it only records audio, but it takes some pretty good footage. And again, the bottom connector there, you plug that in your computer, and that's how you download the files. The next button down from there is going to be the mode button. That is used to cycle through your different modes. So white hot, black hot, red hot, or fusion. Those are the 4 different modes. Me personally, I prefer white hot. I don't know why, I just do, but there's at least 4 options for you in there. And then the last button has a little magnifying glass with a plus and minus on it. That's going to be your zoom, and I think this goes up to 8 power zoom. I personally don't like zooming as much, because when you have it zoomed in, it's very hard to hold steady. So I've been keeping it at 1 power, and it seems to be working fine for what I use it for, but I'm only looking 40, 50, 60 yards out into the woods. These buttons now, there's also a mode to go in and change all the settings in the inside this. So we're going to go through some of the settings and talk about what they're for and what they do. When you're ready to change some of the modes or get into the settings, that mode button right there, you just hold that button down for 4 seconds, and that's going to get you into the settings menu inside there. And you'll see on the buttons that the camera button and the little magnifying glass have an up and a down arrow molded into the button itself. So those buttons are going to help you cycle through the menu settings. When you scroll through the menu, I'm going to read out of the manual just real quick. I'll go down some of the settings. So first is the OSD, that's the on-screen display. Then you have brightness, contrast, the scene mode, which is like recognition, or jungle mode is the way it picks up targets in the view. Networking, because you can connect this to your phone to view it through your phone. Measure, let's talk about that for a minute. There is a rangefinder mode inside this thing, and this is one of the things that I really do not like about it. When I was reading it originally about the rangefinder, I just figured there was a button you hit like a rangefinder and it will take the range, but that's not the way this works. You have to go into the settings, You have to choose between, I think, a human, a bear, and a coyote for the size of the target you're looking at. And then once you click on it, it's gonna, in the viewfinder, it's gonna give you this little upside down T, and you put that at the top of the target and click a button. Then it flips the T over and you put that at the bottom of the target and click a button, and then it'll tell you how far it is. So it's really not very easy to use at all. However, it could be an effective tool because when you're looking through this at night, you don't have the depth perception that you have with both of your eyes in the daytime. But it's difficult to use. So it's not a function I'll take advantage of. And let's keep looking here. So the hot tracking function, once you activate that, it's going to stay on that target a little bit easier. And there's a couple other things in there, language, a couple of their settings, but nothing too extravagant. And I think as a first-time user of a thermal device, this one's pretty simple and straightforward and easy to use. Now, I have used it quite a bit so far. I went to Texas for some hunting and I used it down there. I've used it in my backyard playing around like everybody's going to do when they buy one. I've used it on camping trips, just kind of messing around at night. It's really neat to see things. And one of the things I was amazed with is when I was down in Texas, we were at a pond and the hunters that I was with were trying to shoot some beavers. I just happened to look across the pond. It was about 80 yards away. Now, I could not tell what I was seeing, but the guide I was with, he's used thermals a lot. He knew what it was. It was a mouse. There was a mouse about 80 yards away hopping along the pond bank. So if I can give you the best example of why this is worth the money, is that I can see a mouse hopping along a creek bank at 80 yards away at midnight with this thing. So I was pretty impressed with it. I was seeing armadillos, I was seeing deer. I just used it recently on a camping trip and I came up on some deer in the woods. There was 4 or 5 bucks bedded down. You could see their antlers with the thermal. It's such an awesome tool to just help you see in the dark, and it's fun to play around with. So the AGM Taipan to me is a great, I'm not going to say beginner's model because it has a lot of functions that some of the other ones, the more expensive ones, have too, but it's a great maybe first unit or venture into the world of thermal optics. This monocular, I think I mentioned it before, was, I think it's $1,400 or $1,600 somewhere in there. I'm not exactly sure the exact price. They make some models that are anywhere from about $600 all the way up to I think $3,000. So I kind of picked a middle of the range version is what I try and do all the time. But I'm happy with it. It is exactly what I'm looking for, exactly what I needed, the perfect price point for me. The options that I like mainly on it are that I can focus the front to see different distances and that I can record with it. Those are the biggest things that I use it for. So I'm happy so far. I've had it for a few months. I've taken it out in the woods a few times. I've used it quite a bit and everything seems to be working just as advertised. So the AGM Taipan Tm25-384 is the choice that I picked for my thermal needs, and it seems to work out good. One disclaimer, I'm not getting paid by AGM. I didn't get this for free. This is just something that I bought and I'm doing a review of it like everything else on my channel. I'm not sponsored by anybody. These are just things that I'm buying to hunt and fish with, and I just decided to do a review of it. So if you're looking at thermals, definitely check this one out. I think it's worth the money. It does everything I need it to do and more. And I got to tell you guys, I appreciate you watching this video. Thank you very much. Hopefully you subscribe to my channel to check out some other videos that I have coming out and the ones I've already got posted. And like I say to everybody at the end of my videos, I wish you guys nothing but tight lines and short blood trails. Catch you next time.